How's it doing today? Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be talking about Tesla's stock price. I'm going to be giving a prediction to later come back to this video and see how close I am. But we're going to be just looking at it in terms of their future potential, what their past growth has shown, and I'm going to be giving a base, like a good case scenario, a very good, like best case scenario of Tesla stock, and like the worst case scenario of where Tesla stock will be in 2021. So that's next year. I'm gonna say December of 2021, so the end of next year. So in about 1 year and a half's time, where will Tesla stock be? So right before we jump into it, if you haven't already, make sure to get Webull down in the description. Make sure to actually sign up for their brokerage. Basically, if you sign up and deposit $100, you'll get 2 free stocks worth up to $100 or $1,400. So make sure to do that if you haven't already. A lot of my viewers have, and they've loved it so far. So they just jump straight into it. So if you look at the yearly chart right now, it's about Tesla's about up 340%, right? It literally exploded this year in the past 365 days. It went from 188 to 816 at the time of me recording this. So let's get right into it. First, I'm going to be giving you the best case scenario of where I think Tesla stock will be at 2021. If we look at Tesla right now, they're like massively expanding, right? They're currently, they just released their Model Y. It's going to be shipping right now. Their Cybertruck is set to release later, but it won't quite be completely out. It won't even be out like mainstream at all. If we go look at the Cybertruck, it won't really be out during 2021. If we look at the order now, it wouldn't even be probably factored in. So late 2021 is the single motor, but the most expensive will be late 2021. So it wouldn't really be accounted for, but the hype will be there, and I would say like they're actually going to be starting production, of course, and starting deliveries then, if they're late on it. Because the Model Y, they were actually early with the Model Y, so I personally expect them to be a little early on the Cybertruck. So let's get into it. I would say, I'm just gonna say the number right now. I did some research. I just looked at like their potential growth if they manage to get full self-driving. This is going to be the best case scenario if they get full self-driving working, right? If they get regulatory approval, this is going to be the best case scenario. They're going to be releasing that later at the end of this year, if not beginning of next year. So by the end of 2021, they're going to have that probably on lockdown. But if they get regulatory approval of full self-driving, that means that the full self-driving like taxi fleet is probably gonna be like worked on or almost ready to be used, right, by then. So it's gonna be pretty huge. So if that happens and they get their approval of like safety and everything, Tesla stock will be, in my opinion, $2,000. That's gonna be the price by late 2021, maybe $1,900 to $2,000. That's gonna be the best case scenario in my opinion. Some like if you're a crazy bull of Tesla, you might say that's a low ball, but that's my personal number for Tesla stock at the end of 2021. That's if they continue expanding internationally, and if everyone, like especially international countries, they see that people must go to electric. They throw out a ton of incentives. They want to get clean energy. That's probably gonna be, that's like the trend so far. So in the next 1 to 2 years, I could definitely see that trend continuing and getting bigger, the whole movement of clean energy. So I think if a lot of countries keep expanding, that's definitely a possibility. $2,000 is definitely a possibility, and that's my personal prediction of 2021. So now let's go to worst case scenario. Now if they don't manage to get full self-driving, maybe they get it working, because I think they're gonna get it working for sure, because they're doing that pretty well. But if they can't get regulatory approval and their taxi fleet like pretty much fails, or they can't get full self-driving like approved by the government, right, and they're having a bit of trouble, maybe competition creaks up just a bit. I honestly don't see competition going and being a threat to Tesla within the next 2 years at all, because they're already like many years ahead of the competition. So if they do that and competition is a little bit there, right? It's a little bit there. Maybe they get they get one good competitor and it's coming out and it's maybe taking a few sales away, you know? And they can't get the fleet, they can't get regulatory approval, and they just see a slight dip in sales. Maybe a lot more people are buying hybrids and stuff like that, so they see a bit dip of sales. Maybe their solar business as well doesn't do that good, and who knows? Maybe Elon Musk's does something that is a bit controversial, isn't that good. So that would be at that point, I would see the stock price at $1,200, which is definitely still good. But I think that's my prediction for about a year from now. That's still like a year and a half from now. That is still pretty good. That's $400 above what it's today. And if you look at $400, that's a 50% increase. So that's still a pretty decent increase, man. That at all-time high it reached 950, so it's about 20% from the high, or 30% increase from the top. That's definitely where I could probably envision it at a worst case scenario, about $1,200, right? So I'm gonna say now I'm gonna be looking at the good case scenario, the in between. So it's at 816 right now, right? Let's say they continue it. They just continue the pace. They continue what they're doing. They're doing a good job. They get Model Y sales pretty good, just like the Model 3. They're doing pretty well. Maybe a bit worse than the Model 3 because people are not buying as many SUVs, but still they're doing pretty well. Their full self-driving fleet isn't approved yet, but it's in the process of getting approved. They do get full self-driving completely working, and like you can actually pay money to actually get it, but there's still a little bit of bugs. Like it's not 100%. There's still like a bit of bugs to work out. The cars, like in terms of Model 3, sales are above at around the board. Then I would definitely see Tesla stock at around like the 1600 to 1800 mark. Like 15 to 1800 is probably the range, but around 1600 is what I could definitely see it. Basically a double up of what it is today is in a good case scenario. Now this is only 2021. This is only a year and a half from now. I'm personally keeping this stock for the next 5 years at least. So like if you go 5 years ago, it's up about 200%. So this is maybe I'm overestimating it, but I do think it's gonna be about 1600. So basically double what it is now in about a year and a half from now, if they can get all this stuff complete. So that is pretty much it. That is my personal prediction. I'm gonna come back to this video about a year and a half from now and see how close I was. You never know. It could be still at 800. It could be at 3000. Like you never know. But I think I did a pretty alright the job actually looking into it and having my personal predictions there. So let me know in the comment section if you guys want to. Maybe what's your prediction? What do you think Tesla stock will be at the end of 2021, at the beginning of 2022? So yeah, that is that. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Once again, make sure you guys subscribe to this channel. I'm trying to hit 1000 subscribers by the end of this year, so any of you guys can help me reach that goal, that'll be really appreciated. So yeah, that has been the video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.